CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. For the first time in 2 years, the families of the last surviving hostages from Israel are waking up close to their loved ones. Hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and their families are savoring newfound freedom. And President Trump is back at the White House after a crowning achievement of negotiating the initial phase of peace in Gaza. CBS's Erica Brown.
The president wrapped his one-day trip to the Middle East with a ceremonial signing of the deal.
And for the people of Gaza, the focus now must be on restoring the basics of a good life. We're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding.
Other major hurdles ahead include who will govern Gaza and disarming Hamas.
Day 14 of the U.S. government shutdown, and the FAA issued a ground stop at Austin Bergstrom Airport in Texas last night.
The ground stop, which lasted several hours, was due to a lack of staffing at the airport. Air traffic controllers and TSA agents still have to work during the shutdown, but aren't getting paid, so more are calling out sick. This traveler in Austin had planned ahead.
I did go a little earlier, just thinking that the lines might have been a little longer.
Democratic Congressman Lloyd Doggett represents the Austin area.
I think what we could see are more delays, more ground stops, more inconvenience to everyone.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
People up and down the East Coast are drying out after a powerful nor'easter blamed for at least 3 deaths. CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
In New England, umbrellas were no defense against the wind and lashing rain Monday as the holiday weekend nor'easter barreled into Boston. The storm dumped several inches of rain across the region and led to coastal flooding. New Jersey declared a state of emergency after clocking winds of more than 60 miles per hour.
In western Alaska, at least one person was killed in hurricane-force winds whipped up by the remnants of Typhoon Halong. New York's Democratic Attorney General Letitia James has made her first public appearance since she was indicted on federal mortgage fraud charges.
I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will not capitulate. I will not give in. I will not give up.
She did not mention President Trump, who called for her prosecution. No more free security updates, bug fixes, or technical support for anyone who still uses Windows 10. Tech contributor Ian Scher.
Microsoft is giving people options for how to keep using this decade-old version of Windows, in particular by paying Microsoft to continue squashing security bugs and protecting the system at least for another year.
Dow futures are down 366. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Maybe this is you too. People are enormously frustrated with the cost of healthcare right now. There is an option. Hundreds of thousands of people have gone with MediShare. They like it more, and they're saving a lot of money. Perfect time for you to join, too. Apply before October 31st, and they will waive your application fee. That's $100 you'll be saving right off the bat, in addition to the thousands you can save every year. Call them now. Here's the number, 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. MediShare is a community of Christians who've shared more than $9 billion in medical bills. It has worked beautifully for decades. And with so many people re-examining their options right now, seeing premiums going up and up, this is a great time to take advantage of this offer. Just tell them the promo code SHARE and save $100 before October 31st. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 87.
News and weather are brought to you this hour by Flora Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like our own. Visit our website, floraanimalhospital.com.
An execution likely this week. Today, sunny and 85. Tonight, mostly clear and 57. Sunny and 86 Wednesday. 89 Thursday. No rain expected through the end of the week. With news on 103.9 WIAB, I'm Chris Davis. The man convicted of kidnapping, raping, and killing 20-year-old Christy Ray in Tippah County in 1993 will likely die in Mississippi's death chamber at Parchman Wednesday, with Governor Tate Reeves saying he can find no reason to spare Charles Ray Crawford's life. Crawford's lawyers have asked the U.S. Supreme Court to look at his case. The woman murdered Monday morning at Windsor Village Apartments in Clinton has been identified as 45-year-old Delilah Harris. A spokesperson for the city says Harris was shot several times and that police had taken someone in as a person of interest. Another arrest has been made in the killing at Heidelberg High School's homecoming from Friday night. With the first arrest having been made Saturday, Monday police announced they had picked up 19-year-old Demeron Starks. He's charged with accessory after the fact and evidence tampering. Police believe as many as 4 people were involved.
All these events seem to stem from tailgates, so we recommend, from advice from our attorney, that we stop having tailgates on campus.
That recommendation came Monday on a podcast from Ricky Neves, the head of the Mississippi High School Activities Association. He also says alcohol and high school activities do not mix.
Let's make sure that we have security at those.
The museum trail in Jackson now has a section in downtown complete. The goal is to link the museums at LaFleur's Bluff, the ones downtown, and Jackson State's campus with a walkway. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WIAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, chip away. That's what I wanna do.
And good. It's Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Tuesday morning here on the program. This is the Chip Matthews Show with Don McKenzie. We got a special guest in today, Brent Bailey, and he former public service commissioner. And we're going to talk some about the CMU stuff going on. Let me say good morning to Rod Scott, Jolynn Michael, Jeff Thomas, Mitch Tyner. And he says good morning to you, Brent, also. Johnny Martin, Jeff Thomas, Chris Stout, Russell McGuffey, Andy Devine. Oh, geez, Andy Devine's here. So,
good morning, everyone. Good morning, Brent. Thank you for coming and getting out so early this morning.
Yeah, Miss Dawn, I hadn't seen this early in a while.
When you were commissioner, you were up 24 hours, weren't you?
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's just the way it is. People calling. Anybody calling complain ever?
Still get them weekly. I'm not lying.
If they have your number, that's who they're calling.
I was never shy about giving my number out, and people still use it to this day.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So, what is your opinion on all this stuff that's going on at CMU? This is going to be just the overview of the bill. If you want, we're not going to go deep into it just yet. We're going to take a commercial break in a second, but.
I know it's frustrating to folks on the receiving end of these bills as to continue the rate adjustments and try to find some level of valuation of the services they received. And we've seen rates increase across all utility structures over the last several years. And there's a lot of factors going into that. And it's never fun when you're the one whose utility is being revalued and the rate's being adjusted to reflect the cost of service.
See, the greatest thing about living in Canton all my life, I sit there and you get a utility bill and somebody says, your utilities are $212. And I go, yeah, that's water, that's gas, that's sewer, that's electric, that's garbage pickup. And everybody's going, huh? I go, it's the best deal in the world. If you want to live and not pay for extra services, come to Canton.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you got to factor in what is all the aspects of the bill, what is all the bill made of, and it was something we dealt with a lot at the PSC, is breaking those down for folks and understanding what are the components of a bill and what services are included in that. Mm-hmm. I know there's a lot of pain points going on right now as we're hearing folks who are being served by Entergy and looking down the road. What are the potential impacts, all these investments for infrastructure, all these and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of thoughts on that. And we've seen a lot of, increase in water and sewer rates, not just in CMU, but other places across the state. City of Jackson is one of those, and you hear it every night on the news, is Jackson Water talks about, they're operating the deficient because of what the actual cost of service is and what the revenue income has been over the last several years. Some of that was seen at CMU.
Well, let me ask you this about in Jackson. So how does somebody have an apartment complex and get $1 million bill and you don't? Why don't they cut the water off when you don't pay your bill?
Well, they attempted to.
I'm talking about originally. I mean, because you're talking about one of those bills was a year old.
Yeah.
2 years old. But is there a law or anything on the books that says you can't cut off an apartment complex or a facility like that?
Not necessarily. Some of it was just deference. Okay, they said they're going to pay. We don't want to cut 300-400 people off access to a critical utility service. And then it just doesn't happen. And at some point in time, yes, you have to move for that. And then, yes, the utility owner operator, you look like the bad guy.
Right.
When you move to,
right,
in response to not getting revenues you need. And so you're sort of toting that note for these folks.
Because that one guy, he hadn't even paid property tax in a couple of years. I'm just going, and he wants to act like he's in the right. And you're going, yeah, in the right. And look, I had businesses in Jackson. And the biggest thing in Jackson was your water bill.
Mm-hmm.
And, you could wind up with a cheap electric bill, but your water bill was going to kill you. And it's always been that way, So I just look at that. And how about, let's see, somebody's talking here about the utilities on Flag Island. And since you're the mayor of Flag Island,
former.
He's a former mayor.
Andy Devine says, don't forget, he's the mayor of Flag Island. So, but I mean, you look at all this stuff that goes on and you just go, it should be simple. I would say that Canton probably needed a rate increase for a while, just a slight one.
So when I was there, they finished up a rate adjustment just prior to my entrance into the PSC in 2020, January 2020. They did file midway a time or two, and we determined the filings at the time, the request and adjustment were just not adequate, not up to speed, needed more years of audits and some other just basic necessities to justify a rate increase.
Well, when you hadn't audited in 8 or 9 years.
And so this latest time they filed in, what was it? I think June of 2024.
Right.
They filed and they came, and just looking at it, they had 3 years of audits in place, some other necessary information for the utility staff to really dig in and evaluate. And then they, of May 2025. So it took almost a year to review that filing and to make the recommendations or stipulation. In this case, after reviewing the record, stipulation is sort of a compromise between utility staff and the utility itself on what they feel is an adequate and reasonable adjustment of rates to allow the revenues to come in to safely operate the system and deliver the services that's expected of you.
So basically it is a cost plus system, right? Basically they're not really,
they're not a profit. They're not a for-profit company like some, like Entergy, Atmos, Centerpoint. Those are for-profit companies paying dividend to shareholders, that kind of stuff. CMU is not. They're a nonprofit. They're a quasi-municipality system. And the PSC regulatory oversight is limited to a certain extent. The only customers they really have rate regulation oversight over are those customers located 1 mile beyond the city limits.
Right.
That gets into the whole statute.
I mean, because everybody goes crazy because Canton, like for instance, we have an area, the Sawmill Quarter in Canton. Mm-hmm. They never took it in because they enjoy giving them a little bit higher rate. And in their mind, they think of that as a extra tax that they get on people that are renting houses that would not be paying taxes. It's just it's a justifying thing of something that's not their rate. It's not their place to justify that as the board as a board. They just say we can get this extra money off these because they're not in the city limits.
Not in the city limits, right? So you have your city limits,
right?
And I'm talking about regulatory,
right?
Then you have your city limits to 1 mile.
Right.
And you're 1 mile and beyond.
Right.
And that city limit is 1 mile. You're kind of in no man's land.
Right.
You're not voting on an alderman or mayor, but you're not rate regulated by the PSC either. I've never liked that, but that's just.
But I mean, it's similar to like the school board situation. You know, they only get the Canton points in the Canton school district. These people that live at Lake Caroline that are in the district, they're allowed to elect one person outside the district and then the others are appointed by the mayor and the board of aldermen of Canton. So when they decide to raise at the school board, decide to raise taxes, it doesn't really affect people in Canton that much because property value isn't worth anything. But out at Lake Caroline, it kicks them in the butt.
It does.
And it's a unfair system. It's something that needs to be fixed.
Yep. But getting to CMU real quick. Yes, they have been operating like City of Jackson, operating deficient on the water and wastewater side for many years. And they, by reviewing the record, I'm saying going through and looking at everything, they felt there's an opportunity to level the ship and generate the incomes needed. And we're seeing costs go up across the board everywhere. And I know nobody likes to hear that, but it's the cost to operate, manage, piping. Look at the cost of PVC now compared to a few years ago. Pumps, motors, electricity, labor, all these types of things. It sucks. People don't like it. But to maintain those reliable, reasonable, adequate services, you got to continue to reinvest in the systems. And we're seeing that in other places.
Well, it's like when some people say that Ridgeland doesn't have that problem. Madison don't have that problem. I said, well, when I was growing up, they weren't there. 100 years ago, Canton was there. There wasn't any Madison and Ridgeland at all. All that's basically new pipe.
Yep. And Gluckstadt's going to have those issues depending on which way they go.
Right.
The city of Byram,
right?
They 100% rely on the city of Jackson to provide their water to their citizens.
Yes.
How would you like to be the leader of that town having to deal with that? And Mayor White, he's been fighting that for years, and they have a plan, but it's not going to be cheap. and you want to do that to support economic growth and have that reliability, and that's how you market your city. And it's hard to say, come to Byram.
Yeah.
You're going to drink Jackson water and rely on them.
Yeah.
And I understand that. So.
When you're, let's say you're the way you're assigned to water.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask for an area of water that's your water, right? How does that assign?
It's through a certificated area,
right?
Different certificate types, and you demonstrate that you can adequately serve that area,
right?
And to get that revoked, you got to really screw up.
Well, let me ask you this: so Jackson has all of the city limits of Jackson, right?
And some in Hinds County. So they have a few thousand customers beyond the city limits.
So my question would be is this: if let's say Bellhaven wanted to dig a well.
So there are opportunities. Think of all the hospitals.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Baptist, VA, UMC, they all drill their own stuff and they do their own thing. Jackson State's looking at it. Millsaps is moving in that direction to isolate themselves from
Jackson Water
just for various reasons. And so it's not unheard of, and it goes through a process. I know there were some neighborhoods were looking at that as well in Jackson. I think once they dug in and saw the expense involved in a well, a tank,
right? And
how you going to distribute that water when Jackson owns the pipes? And that's what Byron's going through right now. They want to separate themselves, but they value the distribution network at here, and Jackson values it over here. They haven't been able to find that middle ground yet.
So when Andy Gibson built his own water on the fairgrounds, that's allowed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that stuff if you're willing to shoulder that expense as a single customer or a collection of customers. There's a process for that, but it's not cheap.
Well, Mississippi, we paid for that. So
you're right. That one was
okay, but it was there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be back. We have Brent Bailey with us. We have Dawn MaKenzie with us. Dawn, what is the Mitch Tyner for Judge hotline number?
601-879-0002.
Yeah, he's our sponsor for the phone line now. Yes. So I just wanted you to know that. And we'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show with Dawn MaKenzie on WYAB. So I just wanted you to know that. And we'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris at Fannin Mart on the Res is quickly becoming Rankin County's go-to spot for pizza, burgers, pasta, appetizers, daiquiris, and more. Try their famous Wheel of Flavor pizza. You can add up to 3 different specialty pizzas onto one pie, such as the Margarita, Sergeant Pepperoni, Acme Beat Buster, Pig, Pesto Chicken, the Old Mexico, the Supreme, or hey, just build your own custom pizza. Acme also has a full bar with 9 different frozen daiquiris to choose from. Open daily at 4 p.m. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris.
My name is Terry Parkinson. I'm with the Madison County Co-op in Canton. Hunters, we've got the deer food plot and attractants. The Madison County Co-op built a big following and cultivated it over the years and try to be real competitive on our price and selections. What makes us what we are is you can come in the door, get your ticket and go to back, and we get you loaded and out of there. The Madison County Co-op in Canton, we're about a block southeast of the square. You want to get in there and get out, you come see us.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Craving something extraordinary in Jackson? Manship Restaurant is where your taste buds hit the jackpot. Join us for happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. where your wallet will thank you and your stomach will sing. Indulge in half-price wood-fired pizzas because why pay full price for half the fun? And for just $5, dive into our private barrel bourbon picks. That's right, luxury on a budget. Plus, beat the heat with our frozen drink specials, a tropical escape without the travel expenses. Make your way to the Manship where happy hour isn't just a time, it's an experience.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here's your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the greatest show in the entire free world, and even listening live over in Tel Aviv this morning. Did you know that?
Far and wide today.
Far and wide today. We're getting that far. You can check it out on WYAB.com, or you can watch it on YouTube, Rumble, X. Chairman Xi's watching it in China on TikTok. Good morning to Jeff Thomas, Monty Pimenta, Timothy Jenkins, Debbie Bergansky, Andy Devine again. Let's see who else we got here. And Tavarius is listening this morning. And they were all out at a fundraiser last night, I heard. So
yeah.
For a person running for judge, I hadn't decided who we're going to get after. Not judge for John.
Say, wait a minute.
For John Horn's seat.
Oh, okay.
For John
That's
Horn's
a whole
seat.
different animal
Yeah.
there, Chip.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's Tuesday.
State senator.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
which we need a few of those. And then, of course, as I look at this, I say one of the question is the city of Jackson brought in other city water, making other city pay more. I don't. I can't follow that question there at all.
I was just wondering, for people that are out there listening or watching that don't know what the job description of the public service commissioner is, tell us what that responsibility.
So the PSC, just in a nutshell, they're charged with ensuring that the services you receive, the rates you pay are reasonable, just, adequate, and they oversee the activities regarding the provisions of electric, natural gas, water, sewer, a little bit of telecommunications, and that's really diminished over the years. And that the regulatory oversight is not universal. There's a different regulatory effectiveness from your investor-owned utilities,
right,
to your rural electric cooperatives, to your municipal utilities.
Okay, so like CMU is a municipal utility.
They are.
And it's run by a board that's put together by the mayor and board of aldermen.
That's right. So your voice is through them.
Right. And so
until they move outside the city limits.
Okay.
And then you do not have a voice in municipal government. And when you get beyond 1 mile, that is when you become represented by the PSC.
Okay. And so somewhere like the East Madison County Water Supply District, is that what would that, would that be a public utility or would that be a private for profit?
It is a public utility, but they're not regulated by the PSC because they have their own board made up of different entities as well, just like West Rankin Utility.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand. Yeah. If it just because the word Canton, I was trying to define that in my mind.
The Pearl River Water Valley Supply District, does it fall under?
It does not.
Okay, so basically you only can control or help regulate the city
unincorporated areas.
Unincorporated areas. So
not necessarily. So like Entergy, they serve all across state, rural, but the type of utility they're an investor-owned utility. They require certain revenues and that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're fully regulated by the PSC in all aspects of their operation.
Okay.
And I hate that you have that differentiation at the types and the different scales. And I know it's confusing for voters and for consumers. And it just sucks when somebody calls and say, I have an issue in a little town that does not serve beyond their city limits and they're municipal, and our hands are just legally tied. Yes, I'll always make a phone call and through their public works and see what's going on and if we can help. Sometimes,
but it gets down to where the individual, if he can't file that lawsuit, he can't fight that utility, and it's the local utility company, not the state utility.
That's right.
And if the state is involved, you can go to them and complain, and you don't have to hire a lawyer.
That's right. We represent you.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's challenging to.
It's very complex.
It is. And nobody likes to be told, I can't help you. Let me see what I can do. But there's just certain limits to our regulatory authority, and that's all spelled out in statute.
And they sit there and go, okay, I elected this guy and he can't represent me. And that's but,
to a certain extent, it depends. Well, maybe in other aspects, but maybe not in that specific situation based on your head. You may have heard the news, the Holly Springs issue for so long, and Holly Springs serves an area covering about 3 counties and even in Tennessee.
Right.
Holly Springs itself is about 2,500 individuals, yet they serve an area of about 12,500 customers. So you got 10,000 people out there who do not vote in municipal elections.
Right.
And Holly Springs is.
And then at one time,
operated by that.
Now, didn't Tennessee lose a lawsuit to Mississippi on they were stealing water?
I don't think
they owed us.
So they have city of Memphis, and the plume where they're.
Yeah.
I don't.
They wound
Mississippi did not win that.
We didn't win that.
If I recall, we did not.
Okay, I thought we won like a few $1 million off of that.
I don't think so. I think they said
it's ridiculous. It's
you know,
ridiculous.
that water doesn't stop at a state line is kind of the federal ruling on that. And
Well, then their wastewater, they need to do something about it. It comes this way.
everything flows downhill downriver.
Except in Canton. Except Canton, it goes north to
and then it makes
to the Big Black.
Yeah, then it makes it hard
to the Big Black.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk about something else other than the bill for just a moment. These AI data plants.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told by some of the guys that are working out there that we should be building data plants that have recyclers on them, because we're going to run out of we're going to have a water problem, because that water cannot go back into the wastewater system. Is that where did that water go? They said it's you can't drink it.
So if we're talking specifically about the project here right outside of Canton, or
all over
it depends.
Mississippi.
So the ones being built at the mega site,
right?
So it will be using recycled wastewater.
It will be. Okay.
Yes, sir. So there will be about a 13-mile line, I think, from the Beatty's Bluff wastewater treatment facility back to the Amazon. So just before it would have been disposed of, after it's been treated, before it would have went into the Big Black River for ultimate discharge, it's going to come here.
Okay.
Or come to the facility, and it's going to be the cooling water. And yes, I'm sure it'll be treated a little more and different things like that. Think of a big chicken house.
Yes, I got you.
The cardboard on the side is wet, and you have that negative air pressure pulling through, which reduces the temperature, and it's just, goes back up through a heated, very humid environment.
So who pays for that system to be built? Are we paying for it, or are we?
So the Madison County or Makita borrowed $250 million from the state to put in the expanded treatment facility as well as the piping. And my understanding, Amazon is committed to pay that note back. So there should be a net, a net impact on
and where's
taxpayers.
And like when you bring dirt into an area, you have to build a retention pond. Where's the retention pond for the mega site? Is there one out there?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen, overlay of where
you know
those
what I
things
mean?
are.
I mean, I would think it would be as big as the reservoir.
Probably there's, I'm sure when you talk about the rooftops, the parking lot, the asphalts, the concrete and that kind of stuff, I'm sure there's something somewhere on site or adjacent that slows off the runoff.
I know that would be a PSC thing.
No, but I mean, you're seeing in a lot of areas where you're required to do some type of stormwater runoff retention to allow infiltration or you're not blowing out culverts down the road, so you're not impacting neighbors. But that's what you're seeing there, and had the chance to go through there a few weeks ago, and very interesting how they're talking about the cooling process and the robustness of these new servers and that kind of stuff. I was told the average indoor operating temperature in one of these big buildings is going to be about 92 to 93 degrees, extremely humid environment to allow that heat to be pulled from the servers and discharged out through the ventilation. Like I said, it's kind of like a big chicken house.
Yes.
I thought it'd be much cooler in there, but apparently the way these servers are built, the technology, they're just much more robust and can handle the type of temperatures here in Mississippi when you're not, doing that type of cooling. And yes, there's going to be water consumption. So yes, it's good that they're using recycled or wastewater discharge.
Okay.
And then, there will be water loss because it's evaporating in the atmosphere. So, I'm not sure what the makeup would be.
In the wintertime, we'll ride by there and it'll just look like steam.
It's possible. It's possible through those rooftop fans.
And then we can take that and move it down and grow crops year round.
But but I know that the concerns you brought up, and you've seen it at other areas of the company, particularly that first few generation or two of servers and data centers. Yeah, they drill a well and just pull in groundwater. As the systems, the facilities have gotten bigger, much more in the public eye. Yeah, these guys are doing things to reduce their impact, to be more efficient, reduce water loss, things like that. They understand they have to do that.
Okay, we got to take another quick break, and we're going to be back. Got Brent Bailey in, former public service commissioner, and we're calling him our resident expert. He may not want to be called that. And the next subject we're going to talk about is the power that we got to have in the state, which is a ton of power. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. That we got to have in the state, which is a ton of power. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Even with interest rates higher than recent norms, real estate values are still holding strong in Mississippi. We caught up again with one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxon, to explain his recent activity in the market.
In the last year or so, it's been the best of my career. Interest rates have been high, but the real estate market is here to stay. Land values especially are continuing to rise. Home values are holding. If you need help with anything in real estate, just give me a call.
Find Shane Saxon on Facebook or give him a call at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
Ken here with Rapid Oil Change, a leader in fast service and fleet account maintenance for over 40 years, providing routine maintenance for most makes and models, keeping downtime to a minimum. We accept most local and national fleet accounts. Can't see at night? Headlights looking faded? Check out our newest service, the Bright Light Headlight Restoration Kit by Mighty Automotive. Available now. Keep your vehicle ready for the road ahead. And remember, drive hard with Castrol Edge. Open 6 days a week with 6 locations to serve. Visit us online for specials and location information at oilchangems.com.
CBS News Brief. The last living 20 hostages held in Gaza are savoring freedom. Names of 2 of the 4 dead returned have been revealed. As for the other 28, CBS's Deborah Patta from Jerusalem.
According to Israel's hostage envoy, a multinational force will be tasked with locating 24 more still in Gaza that have not been returned.
On his way back to the White House, President Trump told reporters on Air Force One Democrats are responsible for the government shutdown, now in day 14.
They want to have health care for illegals that have come in. Many of these people are criminals, and they want to have health care.
Hurricane force winds and ravaging storm surges blame for 1 death in Alaska. 2 people are missing. Meteorologist David Parkinson.
The remnants of Typhoon Halong walloped the coast of Alaska, at least in the southwestern section of the state. In some places, the storm surge was so large, it beat the old record by 2 feet.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Looking for the ultimate reset for your body and skin? At Core Wellness and Recovery, you'll find next level services like cryotherapy, red light therapy, infrared sauna, body sculpting, and advanced facials. Whether you want to boost performance, recover faster, or just feel your best, Core Wellness and Recovery delivers real results with 0 downtime. From muscle relief to radiant skin, this is self-care redefined. Come experience the future of wellness, Core Wellness and Recovery, just off Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Book now at corewellnessandrecovery.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
There's never been a better time to buy a new construction home in the city of Brandon at Hyde Park. Take advantage of builder incentives, including seller pay closing costs or rate buydowns that help you lower your payment by hundreds. Prices start at $299,000 at Hyde Park. These beautiful homes offer LVP flooring, gas fireplace, and 2-car garages, all backed by a wonderful builder's warranty. Hey, I'm Brad Burleson with UList Realty, and I'd love to show you around Hyde Park anytime. Give us a look at our website, ulistms.com, or simply Google Hyde Park Brandon.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
We won't go in that. Hey, it's the Chip Matthews Show, the most important show on the radio, and because we answer absolutely no questions, and I am a complete idiot. And of course, she's ignorant. Yeah,
I thought we passed that. Now
I'm back ahead
now
again.
I owe you one.
Okay. I got somebody online asking about the assertion that MCWA pass-through is not legal. So what would you say about that?
Again, those aren't regulated.
Right.
We see those types of pass-throughs in various areas of state where there's a collective agreement amongst various entities to perform a certain service. And like this aspect, Madison County Wastewater Authority is made up of several members.
Right.
Madison County Board of Supervisors, the City of Madison, PRV, Bear Creek. West Madison Utility District, Lake Norman Utility District.
Right.
And so that cost is developed by that board of Madison County Wastewater.
So when
they need revenues to operate.
Right.
And so they will pass certain costs on to their members or those users and who they provide services to.
So Canton is a member of that or not?
They have been
We're
reinstated as that, from what I understand.
We're referred to as a member in good standing.
I think,
but I don't understand that.
Yeah, I think they have been reintroduced or allowed back into the oversight board mix.
But they're not the ones that collect the money. But if it's going through their account, I guess it is.
It is, and then remitted on to support the operations of Beatty's Bluff.
Okay.
Again, that's what auditing and those things are supposed to review, capture, and ensure that it's being done in a proper way.
And in the recent audit for Canton, they were $51 million they had lost in assets. And they said, well, some of that's write-off. And I'm going, is depreciation. I'm going, $51 million. That's we'll just take that off and we'll go.
But as far as it being legal, I'm not an attorney, don't know, but I feel like it probably would be. As I say, we've seen that in other areas where other large wastewater facilities where they collect and treat from multiple entities, they need revenues to operate. And yes, a lot of those pass-through costs are sent on to those other jurisdictions to collect as part of the bill.
So when they say the increase was 25%,
mm-hmm.
and it actually comes out to be 250%, I mean,
So just looking at that, knew when I was coming on, just try to do a little study over the last couple of days and looking at how things changed compared to the previous rate structure. Yes, we saw a 25% increase in the base rate.
Right.
And everybody, that's like a $5, $6, whatever. And it would move up from like $4.25 to $5 something, I guess.
So your meter would be, is that just the meter or is that the usage rate?
No, that's your base rate. That's your meter. So that's in your bill every month, that flat fee. So that went up. Now your volumetric rate did go up about 110%.
Okay.
And not only did your volumetric rate go up 110%, but we talked about it off the air, your summer sale went away.
Right.
So there's no longer a decrease in rates for those couple months during the summertime. So now the same volumetric rate is year round. And they also got rid of what's called the declining block rate.
Okay.
In other words, the more you used, the cheaper it got.
Okay.
And that's a relic of rate making decades ago.
Right.
And we have always encouraged folks to get rid of that because you're basically rewarding overuse of resources.
Right. So if there was a water crisis, you'd say, well, if you
the
want
more I use, the cheaper yeah.
I'm on it.
And so, we've encouraged water, electricity, everybody over the years to get rid of that. That's a rate making tool from a long time ago, back when I think we had adequate resources.
Right.
That's the whole part about conservation and conservatism. We don't want to waste our resources. And so that went away. So now you don't have, the more you use, the smaller the volume.
Right.
So it's a flat rate all the time now. There's also a creation of reserve funds, both on the water and wastewater side, to the tune of $500,000 annually into a reserve fund for emergency issues outside of traditional O&M.
Right.
Things break down. You need the money now.
Right.
You can't say, well, we got to wait to the next meeting to appropriate that money. No, it's there in a reserve fund. For different
CMU had that, and
we had
there's no longer there.
It's no longer there,
Yeah,
but we had other issues there with Rudy Warnock and some people, which best I can tell from the trial, Rudy turned in his receipts to CMU and they just paid him.
Yeah, well, so there's new requirements of what the annual appropriation is back into those reserve funds to resolve that. Yes, there's other increases in certain fees. And in the pass-through costs that you talked about, it went up from came what the old rate was. Now it's $4.77 for every 1,000 gallons of water that's used is then calculated into a sewer fee as well. And we talked to Ian off air about getting possibly a second meter if you water your yard, have a swimming pool, things like that. And then your wastewater volumetric rate should not be assigned to that.
Right.
It may have happened a time or two
Yes.
in some of the bookkeeping, and that's unfortunate, but hopefully there's ways to eliminate that. So yes, we've seen the cost of doing business as a customer has gone up across the board in many different rate and fee areas. And when you've seen a certain rate for many years and now things are adjusting to get that first one, it's going to be a sticker shock.
Well, I'm going to be at the CMU meeting this afternoon at 3:00, and then they're doing a work session and then a 3:30 meeting. And I said, okay, whatever. We'll show up and listen.
Take a few notes and see what's going on, see what they say. But
I mean, I'm trying to understand it. And
well, it's unaffordable for some people.
I mean,
some people just can't, when you're scared to say the word water because your water bill is so high.
Well, there was one lady, she had a $180 bill all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And her new bill was what, $1,100?
Wow.
I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
And you go, I mean, that's not just a little bit, that's a whole lot. There was one person who was a school teacher who had her retirement, and she was going to have to borrow money at the bank to pay her water. And then I kind of, we're going, wow, she's going to borrow money at the bank to pay her water bill until she can get her house sold so that she won't be able to, because she can't afford the utilities in the future for her house at Lake Caroline. And I'm going, that's extreme.
Yeah.
There's something wrong there. And then they tell you to go see Jewel in the office. And Jewel's got to be the most overworked person in Canton right now, because you walk in there and she's great, but I mean, she's not a musician.
Yep. How long did she maintain that great composure? For months and months of this, but
and I mean, you're in that meeting. There's 100 people in the meeting. You go next door and see Jewel, and then you're going, yeah, y'all got to do better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then of course we still have an open seat on that board, and we have a person that's very qualified that wants to be on the board, and then we have a person that's a barber, and a person that's maybe a school teacher, and maybe one that's a truck driver, and they're trying to decide which one they should put on the board. I said, look at it like an airplane. Who's going to fly the plane? I'd hire the pilot.
Yep.
Let's make some sense here. But they still haven't appointed that position on that board, and they keep, maneuvering through things that someone could come in and actually help. And I wish they would get on the stick there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm aware of the information y'all shared about a refiling of, or at least a submission to the PSC to ask them to review this. And there's different steps in that. There's the informal process, and that's what we dealt with all the time: phone calls, emails. Hey, I'm unhappy about a certain situation. We'd look into it. And then there's the formal complaint, a formal submission, and it sounds like maybe that's what that's moved to. And when you do a formal complaint, yes, you need to have some level of representation and a structure of how the filing or the complaint or the challenge is submitted to the PSC, and that takes it to a different level. And it sounds like that potentially what is going on here now, and that may be the most effective mean to get these answers that the collective consumers are looking at.
Is there a way that Canton could avoid a lawsuit in this? I mean, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, so through this process, you want to get the parties together. Let's have a pre-conference hearing. I mean, there's different terminologies for it that's outside really a formal regulatory setting, and get everybody at the table and let's talk through these things. Like they're saying this, you're saying this. So, and you try to parse it out until you get to the point, okay, we've hit a loggerhead. We're now having an official hearing.
So we need
and people really, I know utilities and others really don't ever want to get to that point. So they'll try to work things out best they can.
So we need to bring Trump in. I mean, he settled everything in the Middle East.
Hey, I'm going to say
he can settle everything. I sit there and I think about Trump doing all that stuff. I say, he can settle that. He can settle a war that's been going on for all of life, all of our lifetimes, but he can't get Republicans and Democrats together to open up the government. I mean, it's an interesting story. It's an interesting situation. And Mitch Steiner said, Jewelry Johnson is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
She's a sweet lady.
Yes, she is.
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all want to go to the meeting this afternoon, y'all go to the meeting. You be respectful, listen, and raise your hand, get on the list to talk to people. Do things the right way until you don't have to. We'll be back with the end of this show in just a moment right here on WYAB. This is the Chip Matthews Show. We'll be back with the end of this show in just a moment right here on WYA.
Keep it tuned here to 1039 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris at Fannin Mart on the Res is quickly becoming Rankin County's go-to spot for pizza, burgers, pasta, appetizers, daiquiris, and more. Try their famous Wheel of Flavor pizza. You can add up to 3 different specialty pizzas onto one pie, such as the Margarita, Sergeant Pepperoni, Acme Beat Buster, Pig, 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 Pesto Chicken, the Old Mexico, the Supreme, or hey, just build your own custom pizza. Acme also has a full bar with 9 different frozen daiquiris to choose from. Open daily at 4 p.m. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris.
Hello, this is Kamisha Mumford. As a proud graduate of Mississippi State University and Mississippi College School of Law, as an attorney and a judge, I understand that working across the aisle is better than divisive rhetoric. I'm running to improve public safety, to protect our public retirement system, and to improve our aging infrastructure. On Tuesday, November 4th, vote Kamisha Mumford for Senate District 26.
Paid for by friends of Kamisha Mumford.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock flatbeds, WeatherGuard toolboxes, Nap-High service bodies, ARE camper tops, deck storage solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in to experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
Our flag was still there. The official 250th celebration flag is available at a complete flag source on I-55 North in Jackson. It's just one way you can show your appreciation for the greatest country on earth. Flags for all occasions. International and state flags too. Flagpole construction available. You can check it out at CompleteFlags.com. A complete flag source, I-55 North in Jackson.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, it is the Chip Matthews Show. Someone just checked in and wanted to know who is our guest this morning. It's the one, the only Brent Bailey. Yes. Yeah, someone who knows it all.
Yeah, he's a former public service commissioner.
But he knows everything.
He does. He's very intelligent. He's from Lee County.
So where are you going to go hunting this year?
So been hunting the same place right outside of Walnut Grove. Me and some buds of mine from years past. We've been in the same spot for, I think this is our 31st year.
Nice.
Hunting this little place there. And Yeah, we're
How old are you?
waiting for a little rain to.
How old are you?
I am 54.
Oh, geez,
He's just a
he's just a
baby.
young guy.
Yeah.
Just a young guy.
I just look aged.
Lori Waldman Morris says superstar.
Yeah.
Okay. Andy Devine says, imagine how the meetings would be attended if they held them after the typical working hours. Have them at 3:00 and the weekday makes it harder for a regular person to attend. You're not a regular person, Andy Devine. I'll tell you that right now. But
quit picking on my buddy.
Well, he got us in all that trouble with the flag yesterday.
Oh, y'all got in trouble with the flag?
I
did. I was in a meeting, so I didn't.
You weren't on the air for that?
No.
Okay. Well, somebody just called up and jumped on me about the flag, and I was like, well, no. That's not what I was saying. I was talking about the ballot initiative. The last thing that was actually approved was pot, which they went to court and got rid of. And then legislator took care of it. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing before that was the flag. And it's put into the Constitution, and then they overrode the Constitution because they're the government. But, and I'm not advocating for one or the other. I'm just saying the rules are different for everybody, and they're not really for the people sometimes. And it just, I don't get it. But anyway, we enjoyed having you here this morning.
Yeah, man. Hey, I thank y'all so much for the invitation. Really do. It's been a while since I've had the opportunity to share in this type of environment, talk about the things that, have always meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
And, and still in that space, and my day job now, still working.
And your day job is what?
So I work for a group called Efficient Power and Light. We're in Rankin County. We work statewide. We do a lot of work, commercial, industrial, energy efficiency work.
Okay.
And just think whether that's lighting, HVAC, pumps, motors, that kind of stuff. That's the main part. We really help identify how folks can save money, and then we try to help find any incentives, rebates, and other things to really reduce that ROI to make the projects pay for itself. And I do some consulting and advising as well. Work with some programmatic delivery for some state agencies. Work for a couple nonprofits. Even work for a couple developers.
Got checks coming in everywhere.
And you have a college degree from where?
So I went to Mississippi State University and got my degree in ag and bioengineering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Well, that reminds me to say hello to Tracy Eccles. Good morning, Tracy Eccles. He came out of the restaurant, and I was talking to him.
Yeah.
He was looking at the boarded up building. Somebody ran through the front of my building with a car.
So my office is right around the corner from that, and I went through there the other day, and I went, "What in the world has happened up to your place?"
Somebody drove through the front.
Wow.
We're going to decorate it for Halloween, and we're going to post his picture all over it.
Yeah, that's it. Scare the hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
He should be our PSC. Yes, he should be. But that, that's elections.
Yeah,
and
elections happens, and
elections are evil. I've been a part of them. So, in Madison County and Canton, especially in District 4 and 5, it is the most evil thing there is, because everything has wound up in court every time. It doesn't matter who it is. And then slowly everybody that's pled guilty on the CMU thing, all these aldermen and everything, all admitted to election corruption and cheating in their elections. And you just look at it and go, wow. Yeah. But slowly but surely, it'll get cleaned up. Things are happening and moving along. And as I said, like on Rudy Warnock, y'all, he's trying to bond out, but he gets and he wants to be able to go home. And I understand he wants to go home, but they moved him out of the country to go out of the state to go evaluate him mentally, and they just don't think it's wise to let him out for a little while, because he might not be with us much longer if that happens. But he needs to serve his time, and I think the officials that all did wrong need to serve more than 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what the judge throws at them. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Coming up next on the program at 7:07, it's the one, the only Clay Edwards. Later on today at 4:00, it is, of course, Radio Strongman Kim Wade, and they'll be all talking about the shootings across the state and what's been going on. And I mean, it's just horrible. Brent, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you, Chip. Thank you,
welcome.
Miss Dawn.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
And
Bye.
You can say more than that.
Oh, well, I got a few more seconds. Well, I had the best time at the state fair yesterday. Those cinnamon rolls were phenomenal.
We went and saw it.
And I didn't kill him. His blood sugar didn't go up high enough.
I didn't put the extra sugar. You put sugar all over yours and said, "Let me taste that." And I was like, buy
triple icing pecans.
Yes, it was so good.
Okay, Clay Edwards is next. I'm Chip Matthews. See y'all tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
Bye.
Bye.